I mean, many books have been written on Mani Ratnam, but I think there has to be one book on his writing because the beats are so unique.
Each and every Mani's film, it's not making a film, it's a trip to another world.
Throughout the shoot, I was not allowed to put makeup. So my introductories, I would hide, go far off, hide from, both of them and put quickly some makeup and come in front of the camera.
I don't think Mani can accept the fact that if it's not tough, I don't think he likes it, and I think that's something he gives to each of us. First of all, I think just one more round for Mr. Rajiv Menon. And I've had the pleasure of working with him and his friendship from the time that I wrote Guru. And for those who don't know here, which I'm sure Manisha ji and Nassar sir know, Rajiv is an excellent singer. So
Yes.
if we ever I'm like note perfect. So you can't bullshit him about music, and you can't sing badly in front of him. He starts singing immediately and sings the right tone. Uh, but first up, Rajiv, Bombay, such a seminal piece and such an early film. Why don't you tell us a bit about that?
Um, this is pretty interesting because Mani asked us to. We were restoring this film, and I had just spent, I think, a week on just color grading back the film. So the negative was completely destroyed, and at some places was fine, and we had some good positive prints. So we kind of took some portions from that, and we kind of saved this, and it was really an exercise because what happens is that when you shoot a film and so much time goes by, you remember the physical hardship and some of the the technical issues of getting the film the way it is and the visual design. But you kind of really enjoy, especially in this screening, Mani Ratnam's writing. It's so brilliant and it's so emotional, and it's just overwhelming for me itself to see some scenes, and it's the brevity of the scene resulting in an emotion. There's a scene where Nassar comes back to the house, and Manisha is in doubt as to why this man has come. And Manisha's character throughout the film has that kind of native intelligence. So, and she asks him a question. I don't know what to do, but I would like to ask you, why have you come? Now, this is such an awkward scene, and then she has to say that, this is the only thing I have, and I hope you're not going to separate us. So he turns around and says, you think anybody can do that? And go, daughter-in-law, get me something to eat. So in that one dialogue, he inverts what she said earlier, saying that destroy the pregnancy. So this kind of emotion inside something which is of a city burning and all that, he just packs it in. And so it is real Navarasa on the writing. This is Mani's, I think, his peak in writing because it's so complex a film. And Manisha and Nassar, you both were absolutely brilliant. Nassar and I are classmates from this film school. Yeah. So we used to keep cracking jokes. And he's playing the Hindu father there. And so we used to have endless jokes. So when he comes back to the house and he tells his son, you can marry, you cannot marry till over my dead body. So he says, I can't wait for your death. So the son says that. After that, Arvind and Nassar would go into jokes and jokes. He will just keep cracking jokes. So he'll say that, so he's got injured in his hand. He says, see, for such a small injury, so much happened. Now, if you're going to have circumcision, what will I do? So Nassar will keep ragging him. So there'll be a separate sidetrack of comedy going on between Arvind and Nassar. And it used to be, and Mani used to get really irritated. Why are these two people laughing? You're supposed to hate each another. But off screen, we used to have such a riot. And even Manisha, there was a sequence where the red bag gets inverted. So we recreated this village, which you see magically, in actually 4 different places. So the house is in Pollachi, uh, Kehna Bhi Kya is in Madurai, and the uh, the the fort is in Kerala, and the bridge and the crossing is in Kasargod. So we are actually creating this village. But when Manisha we had this joke which we did in Kasargod, and then we wanted to have how they join, how she's actually fooling him with the red bag. So, I mean, it was really, we didn't have something lush and green. So we came to this place, which was a kind of a forest which had only thorny bushes. And so we thought we'll put some smoke and put some rain and we won't know it. So Manisha was in the burqa and we set everything up. We put the rain machines in and the rain went up. And Manisha walks into the frame and inside this thorny bush were just completely covered with, caterpillars, which were like, what do you call this? When you get an itch? The, so
Somebody
she
push it.
had, yeah, she had whole lot of, maybe 120 of them coming down the first rain, and she was covered in them, and it was like, yuck, what to do? And then we had to continue shooting with that mess. I don't know. I was thinking, why did I come up with this stupid idea of this rain here? And but she was such game, and even all the fire sequences. And actually, Nassar got burnt in one sequence. Yeah, so there's a sequence where he flashes the blanket. So we had rubber solution, and it was a lot of it is handheld, and we're shooting wild. So burning rubber solution fell on his thigh, and he had a burn in his thigh.
Yes, still the scar is there.
Maybe it's time to get a tattoo and call it Bombay, just under the scar. So I want to ask the two of you. My big memory of Bombay is, of course, Bekal Fort, the song, and I will come and ask you. I think the audience also might want to know. I definitely want to know stock. I want to know how you shot. Because it's overcast. This is back in the day. We are shooting film, and the one thing that you get used to working with Mani sir on a Mani Ratnam film is you get used to waking up at 3 a.m. because if the shoot is not starting by 5, it's not a shoot. I don't think Mani can accept the fact that if it's not tough, I don't think he likes it, and I think that's something he gives to each of us. So when you come out of working with the Mani Ratnam film, then the next thing you're going to be horrible to your crew because you're going to wake them up and you're going to the joy of that morning light.
Yeah.
And Tu Hi Re, I mean, incredible music, gorgeously shot. What kind of dialogue are you and Mani having?
Actually, it was a very strange thing. I had gone looking for some location in Kasargod area for a sari commercial. So we were going towards Kudremukh, and I happened to stop over in Kanjanghat because my father was in the Navy and he was a course mate. And this man, after retiring, had started doing watercolors. So I said, this looks really interesting. And I'd finished my breakfast and I'm leaving. He said, no, you must go and see it. It's one of the greatest maritime forts in India. I said, yeah, okay, but I'm going, I'm saying. So he said, no, go and see it. Your father and I spoke. There's no reason for him to put ungli on my father who's gone long time back. But so I said, okay, I'll go and see it. I had no idea. I just went, and it was, what is this place? Like, there are no trees. it's like rolling hills. And I remember seeing Grigore Kozintsev's Hamlet, and this looked like some Danish fort. And I was like, this is incredible. But there was no use for a sari commercial, so I shot it somewhere else. But I had this in my back of my mind and said that sea, fort, storm, this place is going to be good. So money, how do we can do it? So we sent one of my assistants and he saw some stills and said, okay, let's go. We landed up there and it was pouring rain. And on the first day, I went to say thank you to the people who had shown me the location, and I slipped and fell, and I had 2 stitches here. Mani's saying, you had to do this. You're going to spoil my shoot. So I 3 stitches here and 2 stitches here with tape around. And this rain won't stop. And so it's just pouring rain for 2 days, and then we have no other option saying, okay, let's shoot. But our good luck is, it rained for the next 4 days. So we could shoot through with that. Otherwise, had the sun come out, it would have been a shitty location, you know. I mean, to hold that way, that overcast condition. And yeah, so it was, so we basically were shooting 250, D hasn't come. So it was 100 and 400. And we were shooting with what's called an LLD filter. We were pulling the 85 off. So you get that kind of bluish coal thing. And surprisingly, when I talk to my students now, they haven't seen Bombay. The only thing because they think the world started after YouTube came in. So nobody knows anything that happened before 2000. So Gen Z kids only know that. And they only know Bombay as Tuhire song. So this is the thing that has survived. The Gen Z is only this song, thanks to Manisha and Arvind performing it so well.
No, I just wanted to quickly say that what Manisha ji sort of looks like in Bombay, I would hazard and say you don't need to light her up because she's lighting the frame.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
That's very kind of you, but I have to share a secret. So we shot many things, but my introduction, and those days we were taught that introduction is the main thing, I was so worried because throughout the shoot, I was not allowed to put makeup. So my introductories, I would hide, go far off, hide from, both of them and put quickly some makeup and come in front of the camera. And the moment I would come in front of Rajiv and Mani, both would say, Manisha, can you please remove the makeup? I tried a couple of times and I failed. I said, no, I can't bullshit with these guys. They are like hawks watching and noticing each and everything. So,
yeah. What was very interesting is Manisha's mom came to me after this, washing the face. Just remove the makeup kind of a thing. So she said that, Rajiv, you have a reputation. You should see what she's done in 1942 Love Story. It's so beautiful. And Binodji? I said, yeah. He used to make her rest. And you people started 4 o'clock in the morning and go until 2 o'clock in the night, back to 12 o'clock in the morning, back to 2 o'clock in the night. She's barely sleeping 3 hours. She's going to have bags under the eyes. She was really worried. I said, Auntie, I completely understand. I have a reputation, I understand. I know, and Binod's reputation is there. But that man who's standing there with glasses, Mani Ratnam, he has a very big reputation. You go tell him. So she goes to Mani and says, Mani ji, my daughter says you're a genius, but I think you're a devil. So Manisha's mother is dumb. She just goes and speaks. So Mani's, yeah. That's the way we work, he says. And then so after that, she says, this is very difficult. You can't work like this. It's like 18 hours a day and all that. So he says, I think you should take rest. I'm sure Manisha can handle it herself. So that was it. After that, if her mother had come and seen all the fire sequences and the risk we were taking, it was incredibly difficult.
So true.
And this was your first film with Manisha?
Yeah, this was my first film, and I'm so grateful for Chachu Ashok Mehta for
Yeah.
suggesting my name, or
Yeah.
I had doubts, and he kind of fired me, and he said, "You don't know the kind of director you are saying. You're having confusion to work with." He's like, "Go and see his films," and he fired me. And thank goodness to his firing. I went and did the screen test, and then we, rest is history. But it was a pleasure. When Manisha calls you at 4 in the morning, I know that he's there way before that on the set. It was unlike my previous experiences where we were called and I was the first one to walk into the set, and the rest of the unit would come later. So this was a pleasant surprise. So I didn't mind waking up at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, or
Yeah.
No, no, I completely agree. I feel that after working with working on a Mani Ratnam film, you wonder how are these other people making films which start at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
No, and
Half of the day is gone.
I mean, you saw this film. There's a lot of portion shot in Bombay, right? So, can you guess the number of days we shot in Bombay? 3 days.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's like so the speed of shooting is so much. This includes she getting down in Victoria Terminus and that hidden camera shot. Then we had the bus hired, so we shot their introduction sequence. Immediately followed up with the kids doing Gulla Gulla sequence, or one step down, and then we had the Gulla Gulla sequence there. Next day morning, we had the post riot sequences shot in Land's End and in Bandra area, and then we had after that I think one night we shot in the dock area for the stabbing and killing inside the inside some go downs and Mukesh Mill and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is that in a day you could knock off like 4 scenes. I mean, that's the speed at which you work, and I find it totally appalling that people are now just spending so much of time and money and turning out films which are so sterile in the process.
True. And Bombay still cuts really close to the bone, perhaps a little more now than ever before. Uh, Nazir sir, can I request you for, because you've had such a long association with Mani sir, uh,
Yeah.
le- and I mean your name would always come up because when we were doing Guru, of course there was some casting because we were writing new characters pretty
Oh,
much. So there
very,
was.
very,
So,
very nice to hear that. Thanks to my gurus. It was a wonderful journey. Each and every Mani's film, it's not making a film, it's a trip to another world. That's how I see, because whatever experience I had in Nayagan, it was not there in Roja. And in Bombay, it was totally different, very scary. As you know, so to ease out myself, Aravind Swami, Rajiv, we used to be to keep ourselves, not to get tensed of the things happening around. We used to crack jokes. Actually, that helped us a lot. Um, it is so sad when we say this film is relevant even now. After 2 decades, the things have gone very bad. And at that time itself, it was very difficult to make this film. Uh, Before making the film, people assumed that this film is going to be something. There were threats, and after the release, there were threats. It is very sad, the other part of it. The making the film was wonderful. I still remember I met my Sambandhi, my Manisha Koirala's father. So we had a scene together. I did my best, and Mani says, "Cut. You're angry. I want hatred.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I want hate." Suddenly, sir, sir, give me 2 minutes. I went around and I came. Again, I came. He said, now, ரொம்ப கோவமா இருக்கீங்க. நீங்க கோவப்படாதீங்க. You hate him. You then I went deeper and tried to get the strings of hate. It was very scary as an actor itself. I don't know. I haven't been brought up to hate a person. I may be angry. So thanks to Mani, that instead of reading in news or hearing in TV channels, he really made me to realize what is hate. So he was very like Rajiv Menon gave his best and Mani took everything best from Rajiv. He want everybody to not even the main cast. He expects each and every, even the junior artist. I know how he shouts at the junior artists. The poor thing, because I don't call them lesser actors because they haven't been demanded what to have been delivered, because Manisha, when we were talking, he said no, the main cast is not at all necessary in this kind of scenes. No, the thing, more things are happening front and back. They have to be more real than you. So he used to shout. He gave his of course, each and every film he gives his heart and soul. We had fun. As Rajiv told, we had in the beginning we had you know where this film have, politically speaking, this film, where it happens, which part of Tamil Nadu. No, he took us to the another world. You cannot draw a geography. This happens in Tirunelveli or that thing. So it was a wonderful, wonderful trip. I don't know why Aravind Swamy is not here. He he has a lot of stories to tell. But it's a great film. But only I feel sad and scared when we hear that the film is really relevant even now. That's very bad situation, and I don't know whether Mani can make again a Bombay, but I think Mani, we should make one now.
The moment his flight lands, I think we will tell him that. Do we? Would you like? Would the audience like to say any questions for any of the wonderful people who are here? Before that, Rajiv, just one quick aside. Um, you shoot Bombay, and then you go on to make films of your own. You direct. Do you think there's something in this experience with Mani that pushes you closer towards a kind of a donning the hat of a director, or was it something which is already there? Because I mean, you are a director of photography. And back in the day, at your time, zero video assist, I'm assuming. Yeah. So it's, might feel strange now, but back in the day, it would be the director who turns back to the DOP who says, that's okay, because he's the only one who's seen whether it's out of focus, whether the performance was good.
Yeah, actually, it's difficult to imagine that you never had any video assist. So when you're shooting a riot, you got to look at 400, 300 people who are, fighting, and you got to concentrate. If there's one person, just smiling and doing something in the back, that fellow smiling, cut. You have to stop the shot because you can't erase anything. You can't erase. Everything has to be right in the frame. So your concentration level has to be very good. So when Mani used to turn back and look at me and you had to say yes or no, it's a kind of a bond that comes up. But when we started doing the sequence with the transgender, and I would start helping out in the direction, because I used to come so regularly to Bombay, and whenever especially we used to edit in this famous Mahalakshmi area and things like that. So we have these transgenders coming in the taxi and saying, all that kind of this conversation. And to get this body language, when I used to do that or tell some ideas to Nazar, he would say, "What is it?" And then he is the one who said, You can direct." He kept telling me, "You can direct." And I mean, I was doing ads, but it's something else doing a feature film, you know. But one thing that is not really, I mean, many books have been written on Mani Ratnam, but I think there has to be one book on his writing, because the beats are so unique, his beats. Like some of it is through staging, some of it is through pure writing. I'll give you an example of it. There is a sequence, he's a reporter, and oh, I mean, Prakash Raj comes out and he says, "What is this? So many people have been shot." You know, I mean, 56 people have only died, he says. "No, but 256 people are dead." So they keep sparring, and that whole thing is one take. And this was shot inside the Madras High Court. So, so this conversation is going on, and he says, "What do you think? I mean, they came and attacked, so police fired, so they will get shot. So does that mean you shoot them?" So the entire conversation about police brutality and the high number of Muslim deaths is coming through. And at the end of the thing, he says, "What do you want us to do? I mean, you think the police is all bullshit?" And he says, then suddenly he pulls out one line. He says, I mean, you think we have all done bad? He comes out with a line saying that, "Yes, I'm aware of the police, and that's why my child is alive." You cannot write that. I mean, it's like a slap in that thing. It's an admission to the police officer, but as a journalist, I will question you. But at the same time, you cannot, while that scene is going on, you cannot imagine that line is going to come. And that unpredictability of his writing is, really interesting. Then in staging, he does certain sequences. Bashir and they are fighting, and they are the comedy track in the film. So when you take the two people who represent the two religions and make them comical, you're laughing. I mean, they're just it's incredibly stupid. That you're going to be a vegetarian, useless. They're going to eat taire, sadam. Then he's saying, "You bloody got chakra vyadi, you bloody got diabetes." So these two people have been turned into children, and you're enjoying the way they are sparring at each other. Suddenly, when the sequence in the mosque, when they're coming after the arati, and this thing comes in, he says, "They would have killed us. I mean, they would have killed us." So he says, "No, man." So what did you tell them? I told them, "You're my brother." So this is super commercial writing, but it lands bang, slap bang there, you know. Now, this is set up next time when the fire starts. In between this chaos of shooting the fire, Nazar is going in, and the whole staging of getting them to escape and the fire coming into the LPG cylinder. And in between this, they say, "Where is Bashir?" So they had to just go out and ask, "Where is Bashir?" And Bashir is inside praying. So when they go inside, Bashir wants to uh, get his Quran, but the fire is burning. So he pushes him aside, and Nazar picks up the Quran and comes. So you see, now the reconciliation, first Nazar's character accepts her as the daughter-in-law, then says, "You're my brother" to Bashir. And then in the staging, which is not there in the dialogue, he stages him taking the Quran. So that kind of, the balance that he gets, the pendulum keeps swinging. It's incredible. And it's a great learning for anybody who's working with him. I mean, if you forget the screaming, if you think it's just purely as a writer and as a solid emotional writer, I think just a book on his writing needs to be written.
Maybe we should go and we should write that.
I'm able to appreciate it more now after directing a couple of films.
Anyone any questions there? Yeah.
And I would like to Rajiv Menon just ஒரு சின்ன விஷயம் நீ சொல்லிட்டு போயிட்ட. See, I don't understand. We come from the previous generation. Whatever we shot, there was no trial and error shot, because we were supposed to be shooting in film, and film is rationed and get extra footages. So everything was decided by a director. But now, after digital thing has coming, lot of trial and error is, that's why these films looks great, because each and everything was decided and underlined and marked. But now I don't know, because I can see all the scenes I was shot. It is there.
Yeah.
All the, I mean, sequences. It was all decided. Not like now. Maybe.
Oh, it's very true. I mean, Mani and I were just discussing a couple of days back, and we were discussing multi-camera setup. Every shoot, there are three cameras. So what happens is lighting suffers, and you want coverage, and actors are saying, "Okay, I'm improvising," so they don't mind. Then everything starts looking like Big Boss. You know, there are like 4, 5 cameras around, and yeah, it's great. But lighting suffers, and lighting is illumination now. Lighting is emotion. You must have a single minded view of what is the emotion you are trying to get. So if you look at this film, it starts off setting up the romance, and the first thing, um, when he comes, he has seen the girl. So the first shot, I mean, there's gossip, and he sees the woman. The moment the woman is established, you come back home, it's a hostile father saying, "What, you're going to get some North Indian Sardar or something like that." I mean, he's started fighting with his son right there. And and he says, "Whatever ism you're going to start, journalism or Marxism." So he's like creating a joke with that. It's come focused onto that. And then the speed at which the narration is happening, because Kandalini happens, and that's where a lot of elements of advertising are coming into this film. I mean, this, kind of the opposition to that. The sister says, "Don't." He holds her hand, and then in the same pillars, next shot is when she's dancing. He leaps in joy. So he's overcome his sister. So you cannot take shots anywhere and everywhere. You have to take shots. It's like flags. If you put one flag, then you have to bring down the flag in the same place, the same geography, and that happens. What I'm telling you now, I can bet my ass that 95% of the directors and cameramen don't know this. They don't know when you stage something and you're stating a point, you got to bring that flag down in the same way. Otherwise, the audience can't get that circular nature of narration. And that is there all the time. So it's the way. And just when we were sitting, Shad was telling me his favorite song is Gulla Gulla. I mean, Gulla Gulla looks like any song, but it's actually compressing so much of time inside it, and there is so much of energy. And even the one which is completely, I mean, misses you right now is Kuchi Kuchi Rakama, and Can We Have a Girl Child? So a lot of elements of today, which is woke, whether to have a girl child or not, whether to have the transgender or not, is already there in this film. So it was so far ahead, and it talks about the subaltern layers inside the society, and also about the number of kids who are injured, and then the mortuary sequence. So when you come to the mortuary sequence, and you're clutching your nose, and it's that bhibats, it's the revulsion, and that revulsion resulting in ordinary people saying, "We have to stop this," and it's only people's power that can stop. It's not the state that can stop, and the helplessness of ordinary people in the wake of this kind of hatred which is going on. It's what Nassar said is absolutely true. I don't believe we can make Bombay now. I don't believe you can release it in the theaters right now. It's a miracle it happened 30 years back. And so many, I mean, the world has changed and films have changed. And and also what makes this film, after every song, there were applause. I mean, every song is like to cherish. Kehna Bhi Kya, Hamma Hamma, as well as this. And it's a very strange kind of period, because the carnal in cinema was Helen's Dance, or was an item number. And this is the film where the item number is going off, and two people are actually experiencing sexual attraction, and then their child, and the joy of being a father, and also of rearing. It's so many layers inside one film, which is on riots, but it's about a human story inside it.
I think, thank you so much, Nassar. Manisha ji, thank you so much for being
Thank
part
you.
of
Thank
this,
you so
and Rajiv. And just the way that you spoke about Goldie Saab and the song, and how that inspires a song that we all are talking about. We hope that this film continues to inspire, and most of you will go out and one day be on a stage and say, I saw Bombay and I heard Rajiv Menon and I saw Mani Ratnam and I was inspired and I made this film. So all power to you all, and thank you so much, and onward to the next film then.
Thank you.